Welcome back to RF Coins. Today, we're going deep into the world of one special coin, the United States of America Liberty Quarter Dollar from the year 1966. This is not just any quarter. This is a coin with a story, a legacy, and a market value that will surprise many collectors today. Stay tuned because you might have one of these in your collection or even in your pocket right now. Part 2. The 1966 Liberty Quarter Dollar was born during a very unique moment in American coin history. It came right after one of the most significant changes in U.S. coinage, the removal of silver from circulating quarters. Prior to 1965, quarters were 90% silver and 10% copper, but in 1965 the U.S. Mint made a dramatic shift to a copper-nickel-clad composition due to rising silver prices. This change makes the 1966 quarter an important piece in the story of American money. Part 3. 1966, America was in the middle of major historical moments. The space race was at full speed. The Vietnam War was escalating. The Beatles were dominating the music world. And in the middle of all that, the U.S. Mint was striking millions of new quarters without silver, preparing the public for a new era of coinage. The Liberty Quarter Dollar of 1966 is a witness to those years of change. Part 4. The obverse, or front side, of the coin features the portrait of the first President of the United States, George Washington. Designed by John Flanagan, this bust has been the face of the U.S. quarter since 1932. Above Washington's head, the word Liberty proudly shines, symbolizing the American spirit. Just below the chin, you'll see the motto "In God We Trust." At the bottom is the date, 1966, clear and bold. Part 5. The reverse side of the coin showcases the majestic American bald eagle with its wings spread wide, a bundle of arrows in its talons, and olive branches beneath, a perfect combination of strength and peace. The top reads United States of America, and just below, quarter dollar. This design would remain on quarters until the state quarters program began in 1999. Part 6. One fascinating fact about the 1966 quarter is that there are no mint marks. Why? Because from 1965 to 1967, the U.S. Mint decided to remove mint marks from coins to discourage coin hoarding. This was a time when people were snatching up coins, especially silver ones, in hopes that their value would rise. So whether your 1966 quarter was minted in Philadelphia, Denver, or San Francisco, there's no way to tell from the coin itself. Part 7. The coin is made of an outer layer of 75% copper and 25% nickel, bonded to a pure copper core. This gives the 1966 quarter its distinctive silver-like shine but without the actual silver content. It weighs 5.67 grams and measures 24.3 millimeters in diameter, the standard size for quarters even today. Part 8. Even though this coin is not silver, collectors have still grown to love the 1966 Liberty Quarter for its role in U.S. coinage history. Its value is not only in its metal content but also in its place in the evolution of the American quarter. Part 9. When it comes to circulation, the U.S. Mint struck over 821 million of these quarters in 1966. That's a huge number, which is why most worn examples today are worth only face value if they're in average circulated condition. But here's where it gets interesting: high-grade examples and special mint sets from that year can be worth a lot more. Part 10. Collectors look for coins in uncirculated condition, especially those graded mint state 65 or higher. In such pristine conditions, the sharp details, full luster, and lack of wear make them highly desirable. A perfect example of a gem-quality 1966 quarter can sell for several $100s. Part 11. There are also varieties and errors to look out for in the 1966 Liberty Quarter. Some coins show doubling in the lettering or the date, known as a double die error. Others may have striking mistakes, such as off-center strikes, clipped planchets, or die cracks. These errors can skyrocket the value of a coin far beyond its normal range. Part 12. The U.S. Mint also released special mint sets in 1966, which were intended to replace proof sets during those transitional years. These special mint set quarters are often struck with a sharper, more detailed finish compared to regular circulation coins, making them very collectible. Part 13. So, what about the market value today? For an average circulated 1966 quarter, you're looking at 25 cents. But in uncirculated condition, especially in MS65 or higher, these coins can be worth from $10 to over $100. Certain error coins or flawless examples can fetch anywhere from a few $100s to over $1,000 at auction, Part 14. And then there are the extremely rare high-grade examples that have broken records. The most expensive 1966 quarter ever sold at auction went for nearly $9,898.779. Yes, you heard that right. That's the power of rarity, condition, and collector demand. Part 15. Collectors and investors alike keep a close watch on the market for coins like this. Even though millions were made, finding a perfect, untouched example from 1966 is like searching for a needle in a haystack. Part 16. The 1966 Liberty Quarter is also a wonderful conversation starter. Imagine pulling one out of your collection and telling its story, a coin from the year America was changing its coinage forever. Part 17. For new collectors, this coin is a fantastic starting point. It's affordable in lower grades, easy to find in circulation, and yet offers the thrill of hunting for rare high-grade pieces or errors. Part 18. For experienced collectors, the challenge lies in finding that flawless gem. Coins that have been preserved in airtight holders, away from scratches and handling, stand the best chance of achieving those high grades that bring premium prices. Part 19. One important tip: when you come across a 1966 quarter, check the edges carefully. Even though they're not silver, some collectors enjoy edge varieties or toning that can make the coin more unique. Part 20. Toning refers to the natural color change that occurs on a coin's surface over decades. A beautifully toned 1966 quarter with rainbow hues can be worth much more than an ordinary example. Part 21. Another thing to look for is strike quality. Some 1966 quarters were struck weakly, resulting in less detail. A strong strike with sharp details is always more desirable. Part 22. Storage is key to preserving value. Keep your quarters in protective holders, away from humidity, fingerprints, and extreme temperatures. A well-preserved coin today could be worth double or triple in the future. Part 23. While silver coins will always have their metal value, copper-nickel coins like the 1966 quarter rely entirely on collector interest. The good news is, this interest is strong and growing. Part 24. The 1966 quarter also marks the second year of the clad era, making it a historic transition coin. For numismatists, that makes it a milestone worth owning. Part 25. If you're lucky enough to find one in your pocket change, take a close look before spending it. You never know if you're holding a rare variety or a high-grade survivor. Part 26. Coin hunting can be an exciting hobby, and quarters like the 1966 Liberty make the hunt worthwhile. Every roll you search through is a chance to uncover hidden treasures. Part 27. Collectors also enjoy pairing the 1966 quarter with other coins from the same year, creating year sets that capture a moment in history. Part 28. The more you learn about coins, the more fascinating they become. Each one is a miniature time capsule, holding the art, politics, and economics of its era. Part 29. Here at RF Coins, we believe that knowledge is the real treasure. The more you know, the better equipped you are to spot that valuable coin when it appears in your hands. Part 30. So there you have it, the story of the 1966 United States Liberty Quarter Dollar. From its historical significance to its market value, this coin is more than just 25 cents. It's a piece of American history, a collector's challenge, and, for the lucky few, a valuable prize. Keep your eyes open, keep learning, and you might just find your own hidden gem. This is RF Coins, and we'll see you in the next video. Today, we are diving deep into a coin that could be sitting right in your collection or even in your pocket without you realizing its potential. The United States of America Quarter Dollar, Liberty 1973. This coin has a fascinating history, and some rare examples are worth way more than their face value. So stay tuned, because by the end of this video, you will know exactly what to look for, how much it could be worth, and why collectors are going crazy for certain versions of the 1973 Liberty Quarter. Part 2, why 1973 quarters are SPCAL. Many people overlook 1973 quarters because they think they are too modern to be valuable. But here's the truth: certain mint errors, high-grade conditions, and proof strikes from this year are highly sought after in the current coin market. These coins can bring in hundreds or even thousands of dollars at auctions if you have the right one. Part 3, Basic Coin Details. The 1973 quarter is part of the Washington Quarter series. It features the classic bust of George Washington on the obverse with the word Liberty above his head, the motto "In God We Trust" on the left, and the date 1973 right below his neckline. On the reverse, you'll find the majestic American eagle with outstretched wings perched on arrows with olive branches beneath, symbolizing strength and peace. Part 4, the design HSTRY. The Washington Quarter was first introduced in 1932 to honor the 200th birthday of George Washington. The design by John Flanagan became so iconic that it stayed for decades, including the 1973 mintage. The simplicity of the design and the symbolic eagle make it one of the most recognized coins in the world. Part 5, Metal Composition. B. 1973, quarters were no longer made from silver. Instead, they were struck in a copper-nickel clad composition. This change happened in 1965 due to the rising cost of silver. The outer layer is a mix of 75% copper and 25% nickel, bonded to a pure copper core. Even though it's not silver, the rarity comes from condition, mint marks, and errors. Part 6, Mint Locations. The 1973 Liberty Quarter was produced at 3 main U.S. mint locations: Philadelphia with no mint mark, Denver with a D mint mark, and San Francisco with an S mint mark for proof coins. Each mint location has its own level of scarcity and collector interest. Part 7, the Philadelphia quarters from 1973 have no mint mark. While common in circulated condition, finding one in pristine, uncirculated condition with sharp details and no wear is much harder, making them more valuable. Part 8, the Denver The Denver quarters with the D mint mark often show stronger strikes compared to Philadelphia coins, but high-grade examples are still rare. Collectors seek out well-centered strikes with full details in the eagle's feathers. Part 9, the San Francisco minted proof coins in 1973 with an S mint mark. These proofs have a mirror-like finish and were never meant for circulation. High-grade deep cameo proofs can fetch excellent prices in the current market. Part 10, Mint Error QURTRS. Here's where things get exciting. Mint errors from 1973 can turn an ordinary quarter into a treasure. Off-center strikes, double dies, missing clad layers, and clipped planchets are among the most valuable. Some extreme mint errors from 1973 have sold for over $1,000. Part 11, Double die Variety. Double die obverse is when the design elements are accidentally engraved twice, causing visible doubling on the lettering, numbers, or design. For 1973 quarters, doubling in the word Liberty or the date can significantly increase the coin's value. Part 12, Condition is Kingas. With most coins, the better the condition, the higher the value. Collectors use the Sheldon coin grading scale, from poor, P1, to perfect mint state, MS 70. A 1973 quarter in MS 67 condition or higher can bring in hundreds of dollars. Part 13, Current market value OVRVAEW. Now let's talk about the numbers. A regular circulated 1973 quarter might only be worth its face value of 25 cents. But in mint state condition, you could be looking at anywhere from $20 to $200 depending on the grade. Error coins and high-grade proofs can be worth far more, in some cases exceeding $898.778 in the rarest auctions. Part 14, Why prices can skyrocket. Prices in the coin market fluctuate based on collector demand, rarity, and overall economic trends. When a specific variety or error gets discovered, demand can spike overnight, causing prices to shoot up. Part 15, Spotlight on rare SLES. One example is a high-grade 1973 S deep cameo proof quarter that sold for over $2,000 at auction due to its perfect surfaces and intense contrast. Another was a Denver mint error with a 50% off-center strike, which fetched over $1,500. Part 16, How to identify proof. CONS proof coins have a mirror-like background and frosted design elements. If your 1973 quarter looks extra shiny with a sharp strike, it might be a proof. Check for the S mint mark to confirm. Part 17, Checking for errors at HOMU. Don't need fancy equipment to spot some errors. A simple magnifying glass and good lighting can help you detect doubling, missing layers, or unusual shapes. Part 18. Why collectors love the 1973 series. Collectors are drawn to the 1973 quarters because they represent a stable period in U.S. coinage before the big design changes of the late 20th century. It's a blend of modern durability and classic artistry. Part 19. The role of coin grading. Companies. Professional grading companies like PCGS and NGC can authenticate and grade your coin. Having your coin graded can dramatically increase its resale value. Part 20. Long-term investment. Potential. If you find a rare, high-grade 1973 quarter, holding onto it could be a smart move. As more coins get lost or damaged, the survivors become more valuable. Part 21. Storage and care. Tips. Store your coins in a cool, dry place using acid-free holders. Never clean your coins, as this can lower their value dramatically. Part 22. How to sell your 1973 quarter. You can sell through online auction sites, coin dealers, or coin shows. Make sure to research the current market before setting a price. Part 23. Watch out for fakes. While less common for modern quarters, counterfeit coins do exist. Always buy from reputable dealers and verify mint marks and weight. Part 24. Connecting with the coin community. Joining coin collecting forums, attending shows, and engaging on social media platforms can help you stay updated on market trends. Part 25. Quarters in everyday changes. Rare coins still show up in circulation. Check your pocket change, coin rolls from the bank, and even old jars of coins. Part 26. Coin roll hunting for 1973 quarters. Coin roll hunting is a great way to find rare quarters. Buy rolls from the bank and carefully check each one for mint marks, errors, and condition. Part 27. Historical events of 1973. Knowing what was happening in 1973 adds context. This was a time of economic change in the U.S., the end of U.S. involvement in Vietnam, and rising coin collecting interest. Part 28. Why RF Coins loves this. Here at RF Coins, we love the 1973 quarter because it blends history, artistry, and the thrill of the hunt. It's a coin that proves value isn't always about metal content but about story and scarcity. Part 29. Final value. RMINDRS. To recap, a regular 1973 quarter might be 25 cents, but a rare mint state or error coin can be worth hundreds or thousands. Always check your coins. Part 30. Closing HOOK. So next time you see a quarter with the date 1973, don't spend it too quickly. It might just be the key to your next big find. This has been RF Coins, bringing you another exciting deep dive into the world of rare coins. Subscribe, like, and hit the notification bell so you never miss a treasure hunting opportunity. Until next time, happy collecting. Today, we dive into an iconic coin from the United States of America, the 1980p Liberty Quarter Dollar. At first glance, it might look like just another coin, but trust me, this piece could be worth a lot more than you think. Part 2. The year 1980 in coin history. The year 1980 was a turning point in American coinage. The country was battling inflation, silver had long been removed from circulating coins, and the U.S. Mint was focused on producing millions of coins for everyday commerce. Yet, within this massive production run, certain coins gained rarity and collector interest over time. Part 3. Understanding the P Mint mark. The P Mint mark on the 1980 quarter stands for the Philadelphia Mint. This was one of the first decades when the Philadelphia Mint regularly placed its mint mark on coins like the quarter, giving them a distinct identity for collectors. Part 4. Physical characteristics. The 1980p quarter dollar is made of a copper-nickel clad composition, weighing 5.67 grams and measuring 24.26 millimeters in diameter. On the obverse, you'll find the bold profile of George Washington with the word Liberty above his head and the date 1980 below. Part 5. Reverse design. On the reverse, we see the classic heraldic eagle design with its wings spread wide, a symbol of American strength and pride. Above the eagle, the words United States of America, and just below, the denomination quarter dollar. Part 6. Why collectors care about 1980 quarters. While millions were made, collectors look for coins in pristine condition, rare die varieties, and striking errors from the mint. Even a common coin can transform into a collector's dream if it's in near-perfect condition. Part 7. The role of condition in value. The value of a 1980p quarter depends heavily on its condition. A heavily circulated coin might be worth only its face value, but an uncirculated coin with no scratches, sharp details, and original mint luster can be worth many times more. Part 8, Mint State Grades explained. Coins are graded from 1 to 70, with mint state grades starting at MS60. An MS65 1980p quarter can bring a strong premium, while MS67 and above can command extremely high prices in auctions. Part 9, Auction Record Breakers. One stunning 1980p quarter in MS67 sold for over $800, proving that even modern coins can bring serious money to the right collector. The higher the grade, the rarer it becomes. Part 10, Errors that increase value. Certain mint errors from 1980 are in high demand. Center strikes, double dies, missing clad layers, and clipped planchets can turn a 25-cent coin into a coin worth hundreds of dollars. Part 11, Double die varieties. A double die obverse or reverse, where the design appears doubled, can be very valuable. Collectors will pay significant premiums for well-defined examples. Part 12, Missing clad layer. Rarity. A missing clad layer on a 1980p quarter exposes the pure copper core and can fetch hundreds of dollars depending on condition. Part 13, How to spot valuable coins. To identify a valuable 1980 quarter, always check for sharp details in Washington's hair, clear lines on the eagle's feathers, and no wear on high points. Part 14, Circulated versus uncirculated finds. Most 1980 quarters you'll find in circulation will be worn, but sometimes, a nearly uncirculated piece can slip into pocket change. These are the treasures every collector dreams of. Part 15, The importance of luster. Original mint luster, that cartwheel shine you see when you tilt the coin under light, is a big factor in value. If the luster is intact, the price can climb. Part 16, Collector demand. The 1980p quarter is popular among collectors because it represents the first year of the 1980s, a nostalgic period for many. This nostalgia adds demand beyond just rarity. Part 17, Historical events of 1980. Ronald Reagan was elected president, the U.S. was facing economic challenges, and American culture was changing rapidly. Holding a 1980 quarter is like holding a piece of that history. Part 18, Current market value overview. Today, the average circulated 1980p quarter is worth 25 cents, but higher grades and rare errors can bring values from $5 to over $800, with some extreme cases reaching beyond $1,000 in auctions. Part 19, The $898.778 market record mention. While it might sound unbelievable, the coin market has seen remarkable prices for perfect condition examples with rare errors. One such 1980p quarter reached an astonishing $898.778 in a high-profile collector sale. Part 20, Why values keep rising as time passes. High-grade 1980 quarters become harder to find because coins naturally wear down. Collectors are willing to pay more each year for the best survivors. Part 21, Storage tips for collectors. If you find a nice 1980p quarter, protect it in a 2x2 cardboard flip or a plastic coin holder. Never clean your coins, as cleaning can destroy collector value. Part 22, Hunting for 1980 quarters. Check your pocket change, coin rolls from the bank, and even family coin jars. Roll hunting is one of the best ways to find hidden gems without spending much money. Part 23, Where to sell. If you think you have a valuable 1980 quarter, consider getting it graded by a professional service like PCGS or NGC before selling it on eBay, heritage auctions, or to a trusted coin dealer. Part 24, Grading costs versus value. Remember, grading costs money, so it's worth grading only if your coin is in very high condition or has a rare error. Part 25, How to photograph your coin when selling. Online, take clear, close-up photos in natural light to show all details. A well-photographed coin attracts more buyers and higher bids. Part 26, Collecting as an investment. Many collectors buy and hold coins like the 1980p quarter as a long-term investment, knowing that rare coins tend to appreciate in value over time. Part 27, Fun fact about 1980 quarters. In 1980, the Philadelphia Mint produced over 635 million quarters, but less than 1% survive in top condition today. That scarcity is what drives value. Part 28, The thrill of the hunt. The joy of finding a rare coin in everyday change is something every collector understands. The 1980p quarter is a perfect example of a coin hiding in plain sight. Part 29, Final tips for viewers: always check your change, learn to spot errors, and study coin grading. Knowledge is the key to turning pocket change into profit. Part 30, Closing statement. Here at RF Coins, we believe every coin tells a story. The 1980p Liberty quarter dollar is more than just 25 cents, it's a piece of American history that could be worth hundreds, even thousands. Keep searching, keep learning, and you might just find your own hidden treasure. Could be worth a fortune, the 1984p Liberty quarter dollar. You might think it's just an ordinary 25-cent coin, but by the time you finish watching, you'll realize you could be holding something worth hundreds, even thousands of dollars. Part 2, Setting the stage. The United States Mint has produced billions of quarters over the decades, but every now and then, certain years and certain mint marks hold secrets that most people overlook. The 1984p quarter is one of those coins. It's not just about its face value, it's about history, rarity, and condition. Part 3, What is the 1984p Liberty quarter? The 1984p Liberty quarter dollar was minted in Philadelphia, which is why it has the small letter P on the front side, right next to George Washington's portrait. The P mint mark tells you where the coin was made, and for collectors, that tiny letter makes a huge difference. Part 4, The Liberty design. On the obverse, or the front of the coin, you'll find the familiar bust of George Washington with the word Liberty above his head. Beneath his chin is the mint year, 1984, and the powerful words, "In God We Trust." On the reverse, you'll see the majestic bald eagle with outstretched wings, holding arrows and olive branches, a symbol of strength and peace. Part 5, Metal composition. The 1984p quarter is made of a copper-nickel clad composition, 91.67% copper and 8.33% nickel. While it doesn't contain silver, its value can be much higher due to rarity, condition, and errors. Part 6, Mintage numbers. In 1984, the Philadelphia Mint produced an enormous 676,545,000 quarters. That's over 500 million coins, so why is this one special? Because not all coins are created equal, and collectors are hunting for high-grade examples and rare varieties. Part 7, Condition is everything when it comes to coins, condition is king. A 1984p quarter that's worn from years of circulation might be worth only 25 cents. But in uncirculated, pristine mint condition, also called MS, mint state, the price skyrockets. Part 8, MS grades and value. Coins are graded on a 70-point scale. An MS-60 is nice, but an MS-67 or MS-68 is a rare gem. A 1984p quarter in MS-67 could be worth hundreds of dollars. And if you find one in MS-68, you might be looking at a coin worth close to or over $1,000. Part 9, Rare errors. One of the biggest reasons the 1984p quarter is valuable is because of mint errors. These mistakes happen during production, and collectors love them. Some errors can multiply the coin's value tenfold. Part 10, Double die obverse. One rare variety is the double die obverse, where the lettering or numbers appear doubled due to a misalignment during the minting process. If you spot this on your 1984p quarter, you've got a keeper. Part 11, Off-center strike. Another error is the off-center strike, where part of the design is missing because the coin was struck off-center. The more dramatic the error, the more valuable it becomes. Part 12, Die cracks and cuds. Look closely at your coin for raised lines or blobs of metal. These are die cracks or cuds. They happen when the dies used to strike coins break or chip, creating unique patterns. Part 13, The big auction sales. Some of the highest sales for the 1984p quarter have reached staggering amounts. One pristine MS-68 example sold for over $1,000 at auction, proving that this ordinary-looking coin can turn into a jackpot. Part 14, Why collectors love it. Collectors love the 1984p quarter because it's from the classic Washington quarter era, before the state quarters began in 1999. It's a piece of American history. Part 15, Circulated versus uncirculated. If your quarter has scratches, wear, and dullness, it's circulated. But if it still has sharp details, luster, and no signs of wear, it's likely uncirculated, and that's where the big money is. Part 16, Proof coins. While Philadelphia didn't strike proof coins in 1984, special sets from San Francisco exist. These proof coins are highly polished and made for collectors, and they can also command high prices. Part 17, Storage Tips. If you find a high-grade 1984 p quarter, don't just toss it in a drawer. Store it in a coin flip, capsule, or holder to protect it from scratches and tarnish. Part 18, Authentication. If you believe your coin is rare, get it authenticated and graded by a professional service like PCGS or NGC. Their certification can dramatically increase its market value. Part 19, Market Demand. Right now, the coin market is hot. Collectors are willing to pay big for rare varieties and high grades of the 1984 p quarter, making it the perfect time to check your change. Part 20, How to search for them. The best place to look is in your everyday change, bank rolls, or old jars of coins. You never know when a rare one will show up. Part 21, Spotting Luster. Mint state coins have a natural shine, or luster, that makes them stand out. Tilt the coin under light. If it glows like it's fresh from the mint, you may have something special. Part 22, Weight check. A genuine 1984 p quarter should weigh 5.67 grams. Any major difference could indicate an error planchet or wrong metal strike, both very valuable. Part 23, I appeal. Collectors pay extra for coins that simply look beautiful, even if they aren't the highest grade. Color, toning, and strike quality all matter. Part 24, Avoid cleaning. Never clean your coin. Cleaning destroys the value. Even tiny scratches from wiping can reduce it from hundreds to just cents. Over time, rare coins like the 1984 p quarter tend to increase in value. Holding onto a high-grade example could be a smart investment. Part 26, Famous finds. Many collectors have discovered valuable 1984 p quarters in random places, from parking lot change to old purses, proving that treasure can be anywhere. Part 27, Comparing to other years. While other 1980s quarters are collectible, 1984 p stands out for its combination of high mintage and rare high-grade survivors. Part 28, Current market value. Right now, a regular circulated 1984 p quarter is worth 25 cents, but uncirculated examples can bring $20 to $50, and top-graded MS-68 pieces can hit $898 or more. Part 29, Final collector tip. Always check mint marks, dates, and condition. The more you learn, the easier it will be to spot valuable coins others overlook. Part 30, Closing call to action. If you enjoyed learning about the 1984 p Liberty quarter dollar, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe to RF Coins, and turn on notifications so you never miss a chance to discover treasure in your pocket. Your next coin could be worth a fortune, so keep hunting, keep learning, and keep collecting. If you want, I can now expand each part with. Today, we dive deep into the world of an American classic, the 1985 p Liberty United States quarter dollar. This coin may look ordinary at first glance, but the story behind it is rich with history, fascinating minting details, and potential value that could surprise you. So grab your magnifying glass and let's get started. Part 2. The year is 1985. Ronald Reagan is President of the United States, the economy is booming, and the U.S. Mint is working at full steam to produce millions of coins for everyday use. Among those coins was the quarter, the 25-cent piece, struck at the Philadelphia Mint, bearing the small letter P just above the date. This tiny letter would mark the coin's origin and hold the key to its identity. Part 3. On the obverse, or the front of the coin, you'll find the iconic portrait of George Washington. Designed by John Flanagan back in 1932 to honor the 200th birthday of America's first president, this design became an enduring symbol of liberty and strength. Above Washington's head, the word liberty reminds us of the nation's core values, while the date 1985 marks its birth year. Part 4. Flip the coin over to the reverse side, and you're greeted with a majestic bald eagle, wings outstretched, clutching a bundle of arrows, a symbol of defense, and an olive branch, a symbol of peace. Around the top, United States of America proudly stands, and just below that, quarter dollar tells you the denomination. Part 5. The Philadelphia Mint struck an incredible number of these coins, over 774 million in total. With such a high mintage, you might think every 1985 p quarter is worth only 25 cents. But as you're about to find out, certain factors like condition, rarity, and minting errors can push the value far beyond its face value. Part 6. The most basic 1985p quarter in well-circulated condition usually trades for its face value. However, a coin in brilliant uncirculated condition, fresh from the mint, with no wear, can fetch between 50 cents and several dollars depending on its grade. Collectors love coins with sharp details, strong luster, and no scratches. Part 7. But here's where things get exciting. In high mint state grades, such as MS66 or MS67, a 1985p quarter can command serious money at auction. We're talking $50, $100, or even more in certain cases. That's because such pristine examples are rare, given how most of these coins were heavily used in everyday transactions. Part 8. Then there are the errors, the minting mistakes that make collectors' hearts race. Some 1985p quarters have been found with doubled dies, center strikes, missing letters, or even clipped planchets. These oddities can turn an ordinary coin into a small fortune. Part 9. For example, an center 1985p quarter with 50% of the design missing recently sold for over $200. And a double die obverse, where the details on Washington's face appear doubled, has been known to bring in $500 or more depending on condition. Part 10. So how do you know if your 1985p Liberty quarter is valuable? First, examine it under bright light or a magnifying glass. Look for sharp edges, clean surfaces, and no signs of wear. Check for unusual details, letters that look doubled, edges that aren't perfectly round, or designs that are shifted off-center. Part 11. Next, grade your coin. Coin grading is the process of determining a coin's condition on a scale from poor to mint state. The higher the grade, the more a collector may be willing to pay. Professional grading services like PCGS or NGC can officially grade your coin and seal it in a protective holder. Part 12. Inches. Today's market, the highest recorded sale for a 1985p quarter in MS67 condition has been close to $1,000. Yes, that's right, $1,000 for a coin you could easily overlook in your change jar. Part 13. Why such high prices? Simple. Out of the hundreds of millions minted, only a tiny fraction have survived in perfect, uncirculated condition. Most were spent, worn down, and damaged over the decades. Part 14. Another factor driving value is collector demand. Washington quarters are one of the most popular coin series in the United States. Many collectors try to build complete sets by year and mint mark, which means competition for the finest examples. Part 15. And let's not forget the historical charm. Holding a 1985p quarter is like holding a small piece of mid-1980s America. Every scratch, every mark, tells the story of hands it has passed through, from vending machines to toll booths, from grocery store counters to children's piggy banks. Part 16. But what if you're lucky enough to find a proof-like 1985p quarter? While Philadelphia didn't officially strike proofs for circulation that year, some coins exhibit proof-like surfaces, highly reflective fields and frosted devices. These rare finds can be worth a premium. Part 17. Even coins with light wear can still bring in more than face value if they have strong eye appeal. Collectors love coins that pop visually, even if they aren't technically in the top grades. Part 18. Now, about the current market. As of today, the general market value for an average uncirculated 1985p quarter is between $2 and $5. Exceptional MS67 examples can reach $200 to $500, while the rarest and most pristine can approach the $898.778 mark in top auction settings. Part 19. Error coins remain the wild cards. Prices vary greatly depending on the type of error and the level of demand. A dramatic misstrike can easily surpass $1,000 if two determined collectors want it badly enough. Part 20. For those new to collecting, my advice is to check every quarter you come across. Store promising coins in protective flips or holders to prevent damage. Never clean your coins, as this can ruin their value. Part 21. Another tip, learn how to spot the mint mark. On the 1985p quarter, you'll find the letter P on the obverse side, to the right of Washington's ponytail. That single letter tells you the coin came from Philadelphia. Part 22. When selling, research completed auctions to gauge realistic market prices. Sites like Heritage Auctions, eBay sold listings, and PCGS auction records are great resources for getting an accurate idea of value. Part 23. Remember, rarity plus condition equals value. Even a coin with a massive mintage like the 1985 P quarter can be worth a small fortune if it checks both boxes. Part 24. If you're a serious collector, consider building a Washington quarter set from 1932 to 1998. This will give you a deeper appreciation of how the design and minting techniques evolved over time. Part 25. Collectors often underestimate coins from the 1980s. While they aren't as old as early 20th century issues, their pristine survivors are far rarer than most people think. Part 26. Another interesting fact: in 1985, the cost to produce a quarter was only a fraction of its face value. Today, with rising metal and production costs, it's worth more to the mint to keep coins in circulation as long as possible. Part 27. So next time you get change at the store, don't just toss those quarters aside. One of them could be your ticket to owning a valuable piece of American history. Part 28. Here at RF Coins, we believe every coin has a story to tell. The 1985 P Liberty Quarters story is one of massive production, overlooked rarity, and hidden gems that still circulate today. Part 29. We've seen coins go from pocket change to prized collectibles overnight. And yours could be next. All it takes is a little knowledge, patience, and a sharp eye. Part 30. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive into the 1985 P Liberty United States quarter dollar. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to subscribe to RF Coins, hit that like button, and share your coin finds in the comments below. Until next time, keep hunting.